My beloved, my chosen one, my child of destiny. Listen closely because what I'm about to say carries the fire of heaven itself. Your destiny cannot wait. You have only one day left. And from October 22nd, 2025, everything in your life will change forever. Heaven is stirring, beloved. The spiritual winds are shifting. Angels are standing on the borders of your life, waiting for the divine signal to move. The time that once felt distant has now arrived. The countdown to your transformation has already begun. Every second that passes now carries the pulse of divine urgency. Can you feel it? That weight in your spirit is not fear, it's recognition. Your soul already knows something holy is about to unfold. Archangel Michael says, "My child, awaken your faith now. Don't let hesitation steal what heaven has already prepared. God has written a miracle with your name on it, but it can only manifest when you choose to believe completely. Let this truth sink into your heart. When heaven sets a date, no earthly power can stop it. And heaven has circled October 22nd, 2025, in blazing gold, as the day you're waiting ends. Doors that refuse to open will swing wide. The chains of delay will crumble like dust. Every tear you've sown will rise as light. But here's what heaven needs from you: participation. You cannot receive what you are unwilling to believe. If you scroll away, if you dismiss this call, the blessing will pass quietly, like wind slipping through your fingers. That's why Michael is urging you right now: stay. Don't turn away. Pause your thoughts. Let these words wrap around your heart like a divine seal. Beloved, make this moment sacred. Not just by hearing, but by receiving. This isn't about another message, it's about your turning point. Heaven has declared that your story is about to be rewritten, and this message is your invitation to step into that script. God says, "I am aligning events, people, and moments to lift you where you belong." A single act of kindness will open a new path. A random encounter will reveal divine purpose. Even the smallest things will begin to shimmer with destiny. And yet the enemy whispers, "Wait. Not now." But later is too late. You have one day before the divine alignment takes effect. From October 22nd, everything changes. The ache of loneliness will meet its answer. The burdens of debt will begin to dissolve. The love you thought was lost will find its way back. Those who plotted your fall will stumble over their own traps. This is not superstition. This is spiritual law. Heaven's trumpet has already sounded. Archangel Michael says, "Your waiting has expired. The spiritual gates are opening, and light is rushing in, like dawn breaking through a storm." Imagine walking through those gates, the air bright and humming, your name echoing in the halls of heaven. Imagine entering a place where everything that was withheld is now overflowing. That is where your path leads. But the door is spiritual. You cannot touch it with your hands, only with your faith. That's why you were led here. Out of millions, it is you who are reading this, you whose spirit felt that unmistakable pull. The energy you feel right now, that sudden stirring in your chest, is not imagination, it's confirmation. The heavens are in motion for your sake. God has been preparing you in silence. The lonely nights, the disappointments, the unanswered prayers, they were not punishments. They were rehearsals for victory. The pause was never the end, it was a sacred setup for the unveiling that begins now. Archangel Michael says, "The storm that frightened you was never meant to destroy you, it was meant to reveal your wings." Pause and breathe, beloved. Do you feel that warmth inside your heart? That is your soul awakening to its true identity. You were never meant to live small, never meant to fade quietly into the background. You were born to rise, to shine, to carry blessings that overflow into the lives of others. The enemy tried to bury your light, because he saw your potential before you did. But the war has already been won. God says, "This is your appointed time." What once looked like delay will now look like divine timing. I am turning the night into morning, the morning into laughter, the emptiness into overflow. October 22nd, 2025 is not just a date, it's a doorway. You will step into a morning that feels different. The very air will carry peace. Conversations will shift. People who forgot you will seek you out. Even your finances will begin to stabilize, because heaven's provision is finally being released. But remember this, my child, do not take this lightly. Every moment of doubt pulls the miracle a little farther away. Every heartbeat of faith pulls it closer. That is why Michael is pleading, open your spirit. Don't just hear, receive. These are not ordinary words, they are seeds of transformation. Beloved, God does not waste messages. If your eyes are reading this, it means you were handpicked for this season. Out of millions, heaven chose you to carry this awakening. The heavens are not silent anymore. Your season of preparation is ending. Your story is about to shine, like gold refined in the fire. So lift your head, beloved. The countdown is not to fear, but to freedom. The next dawn will not be like the last. You are stepping into a realm where every prayer has a response, and every pain finds its purpose. And as you prepare for what's coming, keep your heart open, and your faith burning bright. My dear child, if this message has touched your heart, I invite you to share your faith by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. If you feel inspired to support this mission of spreading love and light, you can contributing $50 to $100 through Super Thanks to help spread this message to even more people. Remember, every act of generosity, no matter the amount, is deeply valued and appreciated. I trust you with this message. I trust you not to ignore it. I trust you to carry it into your life. Now, beloved, lean in close, because heaven is about to uncover what Archangel Michael has been holding back just for you. I see it clearly, a radiant hand stretching toward you, glowing with divine light. In the palm of that hand rests a single golden key, alive, pulsing, shimmering, as though it carries your entire story within it. Archangel Michael says, this key belongs to them. It is the key to the doors they thought were sealed forever. But they must take it in faith. If they hesitate, it will vanish like smoke. That is why October 22nd is not just important, it's urgent. That is the appointed hour when the key will be released in the Spirit. If you rise that day with expectancy, if your heart dares to believe, you will watch miracles unfold in real time. What you once called impossible will stand before you as proof of God's promise. But hear me, my child, the final hours before a miracle often bring the loudest noise. The enemy will try to shake you with sudden distractions, unnecessary fears, or voices whispering, "This can't be real." Do not listen. Those attacks are not signs of failure, they are proof that the breakthrough is dangerously close. The enemy shouts loudest when he knows he's already lost. So stay here. Stay grounded. Keep letting these words soak into your heart, like holy water. Each line you read strengthens your spirit, and draws your miracle closer. Think of this as a stream from heaven itself, and your soul, thirsty for years, is finally drinking. Do you feel that stirring deep inside tonight? That's not anxiety, it's divine movement. Heaven is closer than your next breath, and time is shorter than you think. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them the waiting season is over." The clock is striking midnight in the spirit realm, and October 22nd will rewrite their destiny. You've thought you reached the end before, but God calls it the planting. Seeds don't stay buried forever, they break open, they push through, and they rise into forests. You are that seed. And this is your breaking open season. Every tear you've cried was a drop of water feeding your roots. Every disappointment was pressure shaping your strength. Michael whispers, not one tear was wasted. Every cry was heard, and every word you prayed was written before the throne. Heaven never forgot. And now the time of return has arrived. Everything you gave, everything you lost, everything you waited for, it's coming back multiplied. Picture yourself standing before a vast sea. The waves have always looked too deep, too strong. But suddenly the waters part. A dry path appears, shimmering with light. That is what October 22nd will feel like, a divine opening, a path where there was no path. And you won't walk it alone. Angels will walk ahead of you, clearing obstacles before your feet touch the ground. People chosen by heaven will appear exactly when you need them. Doors of provision, favor, and healing will swing open, as if they were waiting for your touch all along. But beloved, listen carefully, hesitation is dangerous. Archangel Michael says, every blessing has a window, and this one will not remain open forever. If they delay, the gift will slip through their fingers like sand. That's why this message burns with urgency. This is not entertainment, it's a divine instruction. Don't rush. Don't scroll away. Don't tell yourself, maybe later. Later will be too late. Every moment you stay, your spirit aligns with heaven's design. You might ask, why me? Out of billions, why would God choose me? The answer is simple, because your pain was extraordinary, and so is your purpose. The enemy fought you so fiercely, because he saw what you could become. You were hidden, not forgotten. You were set apart until the time was right. Archangel Michael declares, the concealment is over. What was hidden will now be revealed. What was delayed will now be delivered. What was broken will now be rebuilt in glory. Pause, beloved. Let that sink in. This isn't a general prophecy. It's a personal message, written like a scroll, and delivered straight into your hands. If you're reading this, it belongs to you. Out of millions, heaven guided your eyes here, because the decision has already been made in your favor. God has chosen you to walk into the miraculous. From October 22nd forward, expect holy interruptions, moments that break your routine, but open your destiny. Unexpected calls bringing good news. Encounters with strangers who feel strangely familiar. Doors that were once sealed, now swinging open with ease. This is how heaven works quietly, perfectly, and always on time. So when things begin shifting fast, don't question it, embrace it. You're not dreaming, you're awakening. Now let me tell you why the darkness pressed so hard against you. The enemy saw the alignment long before you did. He saw the blessings prepared in heaven's storehouses with your name engraved on them. He knew that if you ever stepped into full belief, his grip would shatter completely. That's why he attacked your peace, your relationships, your finances, even your confidence. It was war, but the war is now ending. Archangel Michael says, I stand with my sword drawn, radiant with victory. The decree has been spoken, no more delay. And then God says, I have waited for this moment since the day I breathed life into you. I wrote this date October 22nd into your story before you took your first step. It is not another sunrise, it is the moment heaven's calendar meets Earth's clock. When that dawn breaks, chains won't just fall, they will dissolve. Old cycles will vanish. The patterns that once trapped you will no longer exist. You will walk freely into a life that finally reflects the greatness I placed within you. So stand ready, beloved. The night is nearly over, the new light is already breaking through. Heaven is about to unfold what your spirit has been sensing all along, your appointed time has come. But listen closely, beloved, there's a secret buried within this message, a code written between heaven's lines. The key that unlocks it is belief. Without belief, even an open door feels like a wall. Without faith, even a gift from God can feel out of reach. That's why Archangel Michael is speaking so urgently now. He's calling you to feed your faith again, to guard your hope like treasure, to keep your heart burning with life. Because if you step into your promise with doubt, you won't recognize the miracle when it stands before you. So read these words slowly, let every line breathe into your spirit. Repeat them until they echo inside you. These are not just words, they're heaven's tools shaping the reality that's already waiting to unfold in your life. God says, I'm not asking you to fight harder, I'm asking you to believe deeper. Because when belief roots itself in your soul, the impossible starts to bow. The clouds part, the dawn arrives. Beloved soul, do you feel that stirring in your chest, that sudden rush in your heartbeat? It's because your spirit already knows you are standing at the threshold of a divine turning point. The old you is fading. You've walked through deserts of silence, climbed mountains made of pain, and crossed valleys full of shadows, but all of it was leading you here, to this gate, to this hour written in heaven's calendar, October 22nd, 2025. Michael shows me a vision now, a long corridor lined with doors, silent and locked for years. You've stood there knocking, trying, waiting. You thought heaven forgot. You thought maybe those doors were never yours. But now Michael stands before you holding a golden key, shining with divine fire. He says, every closed door was waiting for this exact moment. Every no was preparing you for a greater yes. The key was never lost, it was waiting for the appointed time. And now that time has come. Beloved, everything that felt wasted will bloom again. The job you lost will make sense when the right door opens. The love that left will seem small beside the one heaven has prepared. The money that slipped away will return multiplied, pressed down, shaken together and overflowing. This is your multiplication season. The untangling of what the enemy knotted. The divine compensation for what you endured in silence. But Michael warns again. Doubt is the thief that steals miracles before they arrive. Doubt whispers lies, maybe this isn't for you, maybe this belongs to someone else, maybe nothing will change. But heaven thunders louder. Silence the doubt, trust the flame inside you. This is for you. Out of all the souls on earth, this message reached you. Not by chance, not by scrolling, but by divine direction. You were chosen to hear this. God says, "You are seen, you are known, you are mine. And I will not let your destiny pass unseen." Listen closely, October 22nd, 2025 isn't just marked for you, it's guarded. Angels have surrounded that day like sentinels of light. The dark forces tried to erase it, but their hands burned when they touched it. They tried to delay it, but Michael's sword cut through their plans. This day has survived battles in the spirit realm just to arrive safely in your timeline. That's how powerful your destiny is. That's how unstoppable your promise has become. Think for a moment, how many times did you almost give up? How many nights did you whisper, "I can't do this anymore," only to wake up still breathing, still standing? That was not your strength, that was God holding you steady, refusing to let you fall. Every step brought you closer to this divine unveiling. And now, beloved, the countdown is nearly complete. Heaven says, one dawn away, one breath from breakthrough. The shift isn't coming, it's already here. The signs will unfold the moment your heart receives this message. Conversations will shift. People will reveal their true colors. Some will stand beside you, others will fall away. But through it all you'll know this was heaven's trumpet sounding over your life. Picture this, you're standing on the battlefield where you once felt defeated. Dust, silence and broken dreams all around. But then light breaks through. The enemies flee. Doors fly open. You look down and realize you've been standing in victory all along. That's what October 22nd will feel like, stepping into what once felt impossible and realizing it was yours the whole time. Michael says, prepare your heart like a vessel. What's coming is too abundant for a half-open soul. Clear the clutter, make room. Overflow is on its way. Overflow, not survival, not barely enough, but abundance. Peace so rich it silences every old fear. Joy so radiant it erases the pain of years. Provision that flows faster than you can count. Love that fills every empty corner of your being. Because when God restores, He never restores halfway, He restores in overflow. So in these final hours leading to your marked day, protect your atmosphere. Don't waste tears on those who drained your spirit. Don't waste time on battles God has already won. Don't chase what heaven is about to deliver freely. Stay still, stay ready, stay awake. Because heaven's alignment has already begun. And when you step into that light, the world will ask, how did this happen for you? And your soul will whisper, because I believed. My beloved, there is something you must understand before the gates open. What is about to unfold is not simply an event in time, it is a fulfillment of prophecy whispered over your life long before you took your first breath. Heaven has waited for this alignment, for this hour where your faith, your endurance, and your divine assignment meet in one moment of power. The shift you are walking into will not come with noise or grand applause, but with stillness that carries thunder in its silence. The change will feel like peace first, and then you will realize peace itself was the proof of your miracle beginning. God says, do not look for lightning to confirm my promise, look for rest. Because when I move, even the storms bow down. You have cried, you have battled, you have questioned the silence of heaven, but every unanswered prayer was not denial, it was preparation. Every delay was not punishment, it was protection. Every no was setting you up for the yes that will make sense of everything you lost. Michael shows me again. Your life has been like a field left fallow, appearing barren but hiding power underneath. Now the rains are coming. The soil of your destiny is cracking open, ready to release the seeds that were buried deep. What you thought was over is about to bloom again in ways that will shock even you. The fruit that comes next will carry double the sweetness because it grew from seasons of pain. Beloved, the heavens are not silent anymore. The trumpet has been sounded over your name. The angels are aligning in formation, destinies are shifting into position. What you are about to step into was already written in gold across eternity's scroll. God says, you are not behind schedule, you are right on divine time. Every seeming detour, every heartbreak, every lonely road, it all led you precisely here. Do you not feel it? The air around you is changing. The unseen realm is stirring with movement. People who once walked away are remembering you out of nowhere. Paths that once seemed dead are glowing faintly with light. That is not coincidence, that is confirmation. The kingdom is moving on your behalf. And yet hear me clearly, child of light. When heaven moves, so does opposition. The enemy's last attempt will always come before your greatest breakthrough. He will use voices, confusion, sudden fear, even memories of old pain to make you think nothing is changing. But that's when you must stand your tallest. Archangel Michael says, remind them that darkness trembles before a believer who refuses to bow. When you stay rooted in faith, every storm will exhaust itself trying to shake you. So speak aloud what God has promised. Declare over your days, I am chosen, I am seen, my door is open. Because your words are not just sound, they are seeds that command your future. The power that raised nations, parted seas, and calmed waves is the same power breathing through you now. Beloved soul, your story is entering its divine rewrite. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Where there was drought, there will be rivers. Where there was mourning, laughter will echo again. And when others ask, how did you survive all that and still rise? You will smile and say, because heaven never left me. Picture it now, the sunrise of October 22nd painting the sky with promise. You awaken and the air feels alive, like creation itself has been waiting for your eyes to open. Small things begin to move, calls you never expected, doors that once refused to budge, faces that appear with divine timing. That day will mark the visible beginning of what heaven already finished in the spirit. You will sense it not only in events, but deep inside, like your soul finally exhaling after holding its breath for years. But hear this, my child, this isn't a one-day wonder. The shift will roll forward like holy waves. Every dawn after October 22nd will carry traces of that divine alignment. Miracles will multiply quietly, health, peace, reconciliation, opportunities, all appearing like pieces of a puzzle finally fitting together. And God says, do not chase what is already coming toward you. Simply stay in position, stay faithful, stay open. Because what's written with your name cannot miss its mark. What belongs to you will not pass by. What is promised to you will not fade away. So in these final hours before your day arrives, protect your peace. Turn down the noise of the world, stay away from bitterness, from endless worry, from voices that mock what they do not understand. Guard your atmosphere like sacred ground, for heaven is planting things in your spirit that must not be trampled by fear. You are being prepared to walk through gates that once intimidated you. You will look back and realize the struggle was never punishment, it was training for authority. Every tear made your roots stronger. Every loss made your hearing sharper. Every waiting season shaped you into someone who could carry the weight of glory without breaking. Now the time has come. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword lifted, and declares, the appointed hour has arrived. The scroll has been opened. The child has been awakened. The echo of that declaration is rippling through realms unseen. And as it reaches your spirit, you will know you have crossed over. You have entered the season that generations prayed for you to see. So lift your head, straighten your spine, smile at the sky that once seemed silent and say, I am ready. Because you are. The old weight has lifted. The new dawn is here. The gates are open and heaven is watching your first step into the miracle written for your name. And as you walk forward in faith, remember to carry this message to others who still stand in darkness. Be the voice that tells them hope is real. Be the living proof that what God begins He completes. The world will see it through you. Now, beloved soul, rise, believe and walk through. But look at you now. You are rising, not because everything around you changed, but because something deep within you remembered who you've always been. The ashes could not bury your light. The storms that came to silence your voice only revealed the thunder inside you. Every tear watered the ground where your victory now blooms. God says, I have watched you wrestle invisible battles and still choose love. I have seen you walk through disappointment and still speak hope. I have seen you trust me when you had every reason to doubt. That is why the shift cannot be delayed any longer. Beloved, that trembling in your heart is not fear, it's awakening. Heaven is calling your name again, summoning your spirit to stand tall. The waiting season has fulfilled its purpose. What was once a wilderness is about to become your garden. You are being lifted, not gently, but suddenly, like an eagle catching the wind of destiny. Doors that stayed locked for years will now open before you without you knocking. People who once overlooked your worth will now recognize your name in divine conversations. You will not chase opportunities, opportunities will run to meet you. Archangel Michael says, tell them this new season will not arrive softly. It will burst forth like a river breaking its dam. Tell them to stand firm in faith, for what comes fast must be carried with wisdom. So prepare your heart, not with worry, but with gratitude. The more thankful you are, the more heaven will pour in. Gratitude is not just emotion, it's a magnet for miracles. Think of Joseph in the prison, forgotten by men but not by God. One dawn he woke chained, by nightfall he was robed in royalty. That is how divine acceleration works. Heaven does not move in steps, it moves in leaps. One sunrise can rewrite decades of delay. One whisper from heaven can erase years of waiting. You beloved are standing on that very threshold. God says, stop looking back at the tombs of yesterday. I have rolled away the stones that once trapped you. What seemed dead was never gone, it was planted. And now it blooms. That dream you buried in disappointment, that hope you thought was foolish, that love you thought would never return, they are rising again, stronger, purer, ready for harvest. The enemy thought he buried your destiny, but heaven was planting it for multiplication. Beloved, heaven is rearranging everything in your favor. The people who left were not punishment, they were pruning. Their exit cleared the path for divine connections to enter. The rejection that broke your heart was redirection to your throne. What looked like loss was never subtraction, it was the seed of multiplication. Now you step into a season where everything that once hurt you will now help you. Michael shows me a vision, a crown made of light hovering above your head. He says, this is not the reward for perfection but for endurance. You could have quit but you didn't. You could have let bitterness win but you chose grace. You could have cursed the silence but you chose to worship in the waiting. That's why the heavens rise now to honor you. But hear this carefully, when the light rises, shadows grow restless. Distractions will come disguised as comfort. Old habits may knock at your door again. But you have changed. The chains that once bound you no longer recognize you. God says, stand firm. You are not fighting for victory anymore, you are fighting from victory. The war has already been won. Over the next few weeks, time will bend in your favor. Events will align too precisely to be chance. Messages, meetings, moments, they'll arrive like divine breadcrumbs leading you straight into your promise. Angels are writing your name into sacred alignments. Hidden hands are positioning papers, hearts and opportunities on your behalf. You will know it's heaven because it will come clothed in peace, not pressure. Beloved, let this sink into your spirit, you are not waiting for your blessing has been waiting for you to arrive in faith. Heaven was ready the whole time, it was your growth that took time. Every tear, every heartbreak, every delay was training your spirit for this moment. The pain that once confused you will now become your testimony. You'll look back and realize that even your heartbreaks were holy. And when this shift completes, lift your head high and smile. The storm that once terrified you will now serve you. The waters that tried to drown you will lift you higher. You are walking on what you once feared. This is your rise, your divine awakening, your undeniable proof that heaven has not forgotten you. God says, Walk boldly into what I have prepared. For the promise is no longer ahead of you, it has arrived. I am not preparing the blessing anymore, I am preparing you to carry it. So beloved, breathe deeply, stay expectant, keep your faith burning like fire, for what's coming will exceed your boldest prayers. The delay is done. The dawn has come. And if this word stirred something in your heart, let it echo through others. Share it, like it, and let the message of heaven reach more souls. Subscribe so you never miss what heaven speaks next, because your story is just beginning and the next chapter glows brighter than the sun. Beloved, that barren field you see in your spirit, the one that has carried the weight of all your unanswered prayers, is not dead ground. It is holy soil, resting, waiting for its appointed rain. For years heaven has been storing the clouds of your breakthrough, and now those clouds are heavy, trembling with divine release. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them the first drop has already fallen." That drop is faith awakening again, the sudden sense that maybe, just maybe, this is it. And beloved, it is. The cracks in that dry earth are not signs of failure, they are the spaces where the new life will push through. God says, "I did not forget the land I promised you. I only waited for your roots to grow deep enough to hold the harvest I prepared. You thought it was over, but it was only hidden. The seeds you planted in tears are rising in triumph. Every why will soon turn into wow. You will stand in the same place that once broke your heart and see flowers bloom where there was once only dust. That is how I redeem time. That is how I restore joy." Michael shows me another vision. I see the heavens open, and from the clouds streams of light begin to fall like rain, each ray carrying a name, a prayer, a hope that had been waiting for this hour. One of those rays carries your name. It descends like fire, gentle but unstoppable, and it touches the barren places of your life. The moment it lands, color returns. Music fills the silence. What was motionless begins to move. Beloved, this is not poetry, it is prophecy. What looked empty is about to overflow. Do you remember the promises you once wrote down and then hid away because they felt too far, too foolish? Go find them. The time has come to dust them off. Heaven did not forget. Those promises were not denied, they were preserved. God says, "I stored them in my vault until your faith was mature enough to handle the fulfillment." And now that faith is ready. But listen closely. The moment of rain also tests the soil. The enemy will try to plant weeds of doubt right beside your blessings. You may wake up and feel resistance again. You may hear old fears whisper, "It's too good to be true." Do not believe them. This time you are different. This time your spirit knows the truth. When God begins a thing, no power in earth or hell can stop it. The same hand that brought you this far will carry you the rest of the way. Beloved, you must not look at your surroundings with human eyes anymore. Look with faith. Faith sees what the natural cannot. Faith already hears the sound of celebration before the trumpet blows. Faith already feels the rain while the sky still looks clear. That is the faith that moves mountains, and right now your faith is being crowned with manifestation. Michael says, "Tell them the waiting has refined them. Tell them the silence has sharpened their hearing. Tell them they now recognize heaven's voice clearly. You are not the same person who once prayed for these things, you are wiser now, gentler, stronger, more aligned. And because of that, the blessings that come now will stay, they will not slip through your fingers. God says, "The enemy cannot steal what I personally deliver. The door I open cannot be shut by human hands." That is why you are seeing things begin to align suddenly, random messages, unexpected invitations, quiet nudges to move or speak or rest. Pay attention to them, those are heaven's coordinates guiding you into your appointed moment. And here is a truth that will comfort you: the struggle was not wasted. The delay was not denial, it was divine defense. Had the door opened earlier, it might have crushed you under the weight of unprepared blessing. But now you have learned to stand steady. Now your heart can hold abundance without fear. The pain you endured did not break you, it built the foundation for glory. Michael reveals one last vision. I see a vast field now, green and alive, and at the center of it stands a tree, tall, radiant, dripping with fruit that glows like gold. You approach it, and as you touch one of the fruits, it bursts into light, revealing faces, your loved ones, your future, your restored joy. Each fruit represents a promise fulfilled. Michael smiles and says, "Tell them this is their life after the rain. Beloved, you will not just survive, you will shine. You will not just receive, you will overflow." The coming days will bring surprises wrapped in divine fingerprints. Even the smallest details will carry messages from heaven, a word from a stranger, a sign on the street, a dream in the night. They are all whispers saying, "It's happening, the wait is over." So lift your eyes, beloved soul. You are no longer standing in the desert, you are standing in the dawn. The light that was promised is not approaching, it has arrived. Heaven has declared the shift complete. The gates are not closing, they are widening. And every step you take from this moment forward will echo with divine timing. God says, "Walk boldly, my child. You have endured the winter, now taste the spring. You have sown in tears, now gather in laughter. You have carried faith through fire, now carry joy through harvest." And as you step forward, remember this: the story that once broke you will soon be the testimony that heals others. Your light will lead those still lost in their own night. Your victory will prove that faith never fails, that divine timing is real, and that heaven always keeps its promises. The rain has begun. The field is alive. And your name is written across the sunrise. The disappointments you thought would define you, the nights you cried alone, and the weight of expectations you could not meet, all of that will be healed. God is saying, "I am restoring more than what you lost, I am restoring you fully, soul, mind and body. The pieces of you that were broken will now be pieces of power." Beloved, can you feel the shift already in your chest? That tightening, that stirring, that quickening of breath. That is heaven preparing your spirit for the acceleration about to sweep your life. Michael leans closer now in the vision, wings extending across unseen realms, and says, "Tell them to be ready for sudden breakthroughs. Expect doors to open before you even knock. Expect people to speak blessings over your life unexpectedly. Expect paths you never imagined to be carved out before your very eyes. Expect miracles not in whispers, but in roars. The roar is coming. The day of your divine encounter is drawing near. October 22nd is not a suggestion, it is a spiritual appointment. Heaven has aligned every star, every spirit and every element to mark this day as the launch of your new season. Beloved child, think of every closed door you have faced. Every opportunity denied. Every relationship that faded. Every financial loss. Michael says, each one was a step toward the door that opens perfectly for them. The denial was temporary. The waiting was intentional. The pain was formative. And now that preparation culminates in a single outpouring of grace. You will not have to fight for what is already yours. The blessings will run to meet you because heaven has decreed it. Do not fear the suddenness of it. The enemy will try to confuse you. He will bring distractions, delayed messages, false alarms and people who wish to steal your confidence. But Michael says, the closer the blessing, the louder the opposition. It is the sound of defeat for the enemy. Let them shout, your victory is louder. Beloved, do not shrink. Do not hesitate. Do not entertain fear. This is your appointed moment, the one that heaven has written into your story since the beginning. Now picture yourself walking through your life, yet everything is changing around you with perfect synchronicity. Conversations happen at the right time. Doors swing open without force. People you never expected come with help. Opportunities align with precision. Provision flows in ways you cannot yet measure. Relationships that were strained are restored. Love appears in forms you never dared to hope for. And the most astonishing truth is this: you are standing in your power not because of what you did, but because of what heaven has orchestrated for you. Beloved, pay attention. Not all signs will be loud. Some will be subtle. A phone call that seems casual carries an unexpected confirmation. An idea that seems small becomes the seed of a thriving opportunity. A stranger's encouragement is the nudge of angels aligning your path. Michael says, do not overlook the whispers, they often carry the weight of mountains. What looks minor is often major in heaven's plan. And remember this, the harvest will not only restore what was lost, it will multiply it. What you thought was insufficient will overflow. What you thought too late will arrive early. What you thought impossible will appear inevitable. Your heart will expand in joy. Your spirit will expand in faith. Your hands will expand to receive. And when you step into this reality, the world will see what you could not have manufactured on your own. The glory will belong to God alone, and your testimony will ignite faith in others. Michael shows me now a vision of you standing on a hilltop. Below you, valleys that once seemed impossible are flourishing. Rivers of provision are winding through every part of your life. Trees of restoration are bearing fruit. The sky above glows with the light of divine favor. He says, tell them the view they are seeing is their life in October 22nd and beyond. It is proof that the waiting was never wasted. It is proof that the delays were orchestrated. It is proof that God's timing is perfect and unstoppable. Beloved, you are not just stepping into blessings, you are stepping into authority. Authority over situations that once intimidated you. Authority over fear that once paralyzed you. Authority over the past that once held you hostage. What you carry now is a spiritual weapon of destiny. Michael says, the battles that once defined their life will now be their testimony. The struggles they endured will now be their platform for greatness. Let them walk in this authority boldly. Child, understand this. October 22nd is the day heaven intersects your present with your purpose. It is when what was promised will appear as tangible reality. It is when prayers, visions and hopes converge into unstoppable movement. You will feel it. You will see it. You will know it. And it will be so overwhelming in its perfection that even the most skeptical eyes will recognize the hand of God. Do not fear sudden changes. Do not fear rapid acceleration. Do not fear shifts that feel beyond control. Michael says, all sudden moves of God are precise. All rapid shifts of heaven are intentional. Trust the orchestration. Step into the stream of blessing. Do not resist the current. Beloved, resist nothing now. Open your hands. Open your heart. Receive fully. Expect everything. And know this, the angels are carrying your destiny. Nothing, not time, not circumstance, not opposition, can stop what heaven has written for you. Prepare now. Prepare with joy. Prepare with expectation. Prepare with unshakable faith. The countdown is almost over. The day is near. The blessing is real. The shift is undeniable. What you have longed for, prayed for and hoped for is now moving toward you with velocity, with precision and with power. Stand ready. Step into your new reality. Walk boldly into the favor, the abundance, the love and the victory that has always belonged to you. This is your season. This is your moment. This is your divine acceleration. Beloved, now feel the stirring of your spirit as heaven leans closer. Michael says, the moment is here. Do not look back at shadows that tried to define you. Step into the light fully, without hesitation. The doors that once seemed locked will swing open as if they were never barriers at all. People who doubted, overlooked, or betrayed you will watch in awe as God's hand lifts you into honor. Your joy will no longer be borrowed, it will rise from within, unshakable, undeniable. Peace will flood your heart like a river breaking through a dam. Your strength renewed, your hope alive, your faith unbreakable. Every tear, every night of longing, every whispered prayer is converging into this single dawn. October 22nd is not just a date, it is your appointed breakthrough, the day your life will testify loudly of God's faithfulness. Step forward and embrace it.